There are several of us that will be headed to Grand Prairie, Texas this weekend down by Dallas. It's the mandatory NCAA national convention. Both interim President Herntzer, myself, Jen Ranham, and Tiffany McCampbell will all be headed down, attend a mandatory meeting, which hopefully will be our last mandatory meeting for the NCAA membership process. It's on Thursday morning. Then there will be some general meetings, and then the actual legislation is voted on Saturday, and we'll all be back Saturday night. For us, it's a big meeting because hopefully it's our last type of situation where we're still provisional members. Hopefully we'll be full members next year and move through that process. The NCAA has its annual meeting each and every year someplace where you'd think it would be warm, but the last time I was in Texas, it was like 22 degrees and freezing. So we're excited about being down there. We're excited about getting through the process, and we're looking forward to hopefully moving on with this final situation. As it relates to a conference, I am meeting with 3 conference commissioners down there, along with ADs, to try to present our case to them and try to convince them that we'd be quality members. I'm really not at a position where I can tell you who those conferences would be right now, because I really don't want to put them in a situation where they would be uncomfortable. But we are proceeding forward and attempting with all of our abilities to try to get our teams, particularly our team sports, into a conference so that we can develop schedules. Hopefully something will come out of it. We don't know for sure, but we'll just keep on trying. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Kaiser, with regards to the conference space, can we, with the team sports, can we leverage? I mean, I'm looking at particular to men's hoops. I'm looking at next season thinking, we've got a special thing lining up. So I wonder what's the process if we're an independent, first of all, to have postseason play? If you're an independent, what has to be done? I'm assuming that's harder than if you're in a conference, but even if we're a conference, I know there's some teams out there, there's some schools that need football teams. So are we going to leverage that to try to get basketball in? I just, sticking up for basketball, I hate to see us just hanging out there and not have a conference, especially next year when we might have something real special going on.
Let me see if I can answer that 3 or 4 part question. The first part of the question was, can our teams qualify if they're still independent? The answer to that question is yes, as long as we compete in 18 regional games. Our region next year will be the Southwest region, and then any contiguous states can count as regional contests too. So we play a total of, we're allowed to play a total of 26 games. 18 of them have to be regional. If you're playing those 18 regional games and you are ranked in some level of top 6 or something to that within the region, you have a chance to go to region. So yes, we have a chance to play region next year. Is it difficult to get those regional games? Yes, it is. Jason and I just talked, as well as Barb and I've talked. What are we going to do for contests? If you take a look at our schedule, 26 contests, 18, that means you can only play 8 non-conference or 8 non-region games. And we've traditionally played a lot more than that. So we're looking at making some trips that could be, kind of what Jason and Barb just went through, where we're down and we're going to the South Central region is Colorado and Texas, New Mexico. That's where we'll be next year, 13, 14. So you're talking about playing them, and then the contiguous states, which obviously Chadron is a contiguous state, the Northern Sun's a contiguous state, some in Montana are contiguous states. So you got to pick up all those games. The toughest part about that whole situation is most conferences have gone to almost full conference schedules. So if there's 26 games, they're playing 22 conference games. So they have 4 non-conference games. Those 4 non-conference games they try to fill in November, early December. So as it was this year that we're going through, Jason and Barb could play 26 games before December 31st. Season over. All right. Obviously, they're not going to do that. They're trying to space it out, but it's not easy. Can we leverage it with football? Well, we haven't got a football conference yet. Now we're in conversations with a couple different, but what we're looking at probably is doing some affiliate memberships. Once the affiliate memberships do well within their conference, and I'm not talking about winning or losing, I'm talking about being representative, being good stewards of the conference, then possibly will fit in with a conference, and they'll say, hey, they're really good in whatever sport, we need to bring them in the rest of the way. But it's not an easy task. Athletic directors, athletic coaches all love to be in control. We're absolutely not in control of this. We're totally at the whims of what they want to do. And I know a lot of you have talked about the RMAC and the Northern Sun. The Northern Sun is not an option for our team sports. The RMAC, maybe someday, but they won't correspond with us. So we're seeking other memberships. And it's going to be some travel. There's no question about it. Every time I sit down and talk to Tim about conference membership, he cringes because we're talking about some significant travel. But hopefully this convention, I'll do a good job of selling ourselves, and hopefully we'll get some movement forward. And that's all we can do. It's totally out of our control.
It's kind of a bummer. I understand the conference one independent, but it's kind of a bummer that because we're like an apparition, right?
We're the only NCAA Division II independent school west of the Mississippi River. Is that an aberration? I talked to the NCAA director of Division II. His name's Mike Racy, and the NCAA does not put any kind of leverage or pressure on the conferences to choose members. It's totally up to the conference membership, which, in my opinion, is wrong. But they're not helping us one bit. Other question.
How many of those games that you're talking about, the 26 or 18, have to be NCAA Division II or higher?
18. 22 have to be Division II. 18 have to be regional. So our games against schools like Valley City, Jamestown, Dakota State, they're going to diminish. Yeah, if we want to qualify. Yeah, schedule's changing. Now, some of that's to the good. I know the coaches have talked repeatedly, several coaches, boy, I'm not ever taking another trip to North Dakota ever again. That's a good thing, I guess. Instead, we're going to get on a plane and go to Dallas. But that's what's going to happen. And that's where we're at. Other questions? Tom?